When compared to Western countries, the number of divorces in Japan is not very high. However, there are a number of specialists who disagree with that. This is because a large number of married couples in Japan have decided not to get a divorce even though their relationship has broken down beyond repair. A lengthy letter was sent to us by one of our subscribers who lives in Japan. Unhappily, he has been stuck in a loveless marriage for a long time. Brothers, let's offer him some assistance and direction in the comments section below. Find out why he still hasn't gotten a divorce, why loveless marriage is so common in Japan, and most importantly, what we can take away from this social problem by finding out what we can learn from it. It was his writing. I am grateful that you have given me the opportunity to express my thoughts. I sincerely apologize for my poor command of the English language. Since I moved back to Japan from Canada to get married to the man who would become the love of my life, I have not spoken a word of English in the past 10 years. It has been 8 years since I got married, and it has been 6 years since I gave birth to a daughter. I would say that my marriage life, as it stands right now, is completely turned off. My wife and I only communicate occasionally. In fact, she usually leaves early in the morning and returns late at night. As a result, we don't get together very often to begin with. But aside from that, I have the impression that we are no longer a couple, because I believe there is no longer any love between the two of us. This has been the case for the past 3 years. The primary justification for this is due to her unfaithfulness. To begin with, I'd already been experiencing some strange emotions regarding her behavior. As an example, there was still a hint of perfume on her clothes, and sometimes she would come home without any makeup on, which was strange because Japanese women usually wear makeup. Alternately, she might have been checking her phone covertly on and off for some unknown reason. Either that, or she started going out by herself on the weekends more frequently, claiming that it's solely due to the work that she does. Intuitively, I had a feeling that she was having an affair with someone else while we were together. But I needed evidence, so I hired a private investigation firm to look into the matter. The conclusion that can be drawn from this is that she was in fact having an affair with one of her co-workers. They showed me photographs of her checking into a love hotel with a man who worked for the same organization as she did. They told me that she had been cheating on me all along, just as I had suspected. After I questioned her about it, she admitted that it was her mistake and she apologized for it. But regardless of that, I believe that moment was the beginning of the end of the love I had for her. To clarify, I mean that I could no longer have faith in her. Because of our daughter, I have decided against divorcing her. I sincerely don't want the divorce to have a negative impact on her in any way. So I don't plan on getting a divorce, at least not before she gets her college degree. And my wife was fine with it, despite the fact that she had stated she didn't want to divorce herself. She believes that she may not be able to meet our daughter, and she is afraid of hurting her reputation at work, because people in Japan still have a negative image of divorce. Because of this, she has decided not to divorce her husband. Even though neither one of us has any romantic feelings for the other, we have come to the conclusion that it is in our daughter's best interest for us to remain married. Even though it is frowned upon in most developed countries, adultery is accepted to the point that some people see it as a normal part of Japanese culture. We have a lot of private detective agencies that can look into partners who may be suspected of cheating or being unfaithful. This helps us deal with the problem of cheating. They follow suspects in many different situations, take photos or videos to prove adultery, and then send the evidence to their customers. In Japan, most of a detective agency's job is to look into a possible extramarital affair and find proof to back up the client's claims. Infidelity is the subject of 95% of the inquiries received from customers. During the course of my investigation into his story, I came across this article from Japan Today, a conversation that they had with one of the most well-known detective agencies. During the time we were in a state of emergency or quarantine, we were told to stay away from places that were crowded and closed off, right? Also, some people take it to mean, but if it were just the two of us, a one-on-one meeting would be fine, right? I'm guessing that a lot of cheaters use that as an excuse to meet up or touch each other when they are physically distinct from one another. After all, it would appear that many people who cheat now feel less guilty about meeting with their side chicks than they did in the past. They go out more frequently now that they have more freedom in their work schedules. Other staff members have the option to telecommute. One of the cases involved a woman who held a managerial position and used the justification that she needed to be in the office. She believed that because of her position, her husband would not object to her taking time off work. But in reality, she doesn't go to the office. Rather, she sneaks off to meet her side chicks behind closed doors. Business hotels often offer a discounted remote workroom. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. dishonest people took advantage of it, or a side chick's apartment. Cheaters leave the house despite being banned, it seems. After receiving the report and evidence, clients' responses vary. Even though some people divorce immediately, I'd say most don't. Our female customers are mostly cheating victims. They don't break up, but they want proof of infidelity. To dominate their husband at home, that is a contributing factor to the problem. Before, they didn't have the proof they needed to say they were better than him, but now they do. But the most important reason is that they want to have evidence that can be used in court, that shows that their spouse has done something wrong, like being violent toward them or cheating on them. In Japanese law, this concept is referred to as yuseki haigisha, which literally translates to spouse who is to blame. You can say no to a divorce petition from a yuseki haigisha if you want to. She demands proof that he has been unfaithful, to prevent her husband from divorcing her and her children. She has no desire to get a divorce, because if she doesn't find a way to make money soon, she's going to be in a lot of trouble and she needs a provider. Her husband, who is essentially her slave now, and this kind of arrangement is most common in Japan. To return to Hiromi's email inbox, you should know that cheating on a partner rarely results in a divorce in Japan, because getting divorced might be detrimental to your reputation at work, or even have an effect on the promotion you receive in Japan. I believe this to be the primary reason why so many people put off getting a divorce. I have a feeling that divorce isn't as common in Japan as it is in Western countries, because men will continue to tolerate it, to maintain their current level of financial stability. They consider their husband to be nothing more than a source of income. However, if she is self-sufficient, she will end up divorcing her husband, which is not the same as my circumstances. I found out she cheated on me, and I found out about it, but I don't want to divorce her because we have a daughter together, and I still provide for her. I feel like a slave or a money tree, but for the time being, I don't mind it. Despite the fact that she cheated on me, I was still willing to communicate with her, and I'd even tried to make things right for my daughter. However, I have already moved on from that point. To tell you the truth, the very fact that she has not moved out of that house makes me feel sick to my stomach at this point. It's impossible for me not to want her to disappear from my line of sight. The likelihood that she is still being unfaithful is the root cause of how I currently feel about her. It seems incredibly obvious to me. You should know that I was inconsolable, but at this point I'm just sick of being sad. To put it another way, I just don't care anymore. It makes no difference to me what she is up to behind my back. I have the impression that she is not interested in anything that I am doing. We have lost all interest in one another and no longer give a damn about one another. Therefore, regardless of whether or not he is having sexual relations with another man, now unlike whatever, only in the presence of my little girl, we put on the appearance that everything is going well. I make a concerted effort not to communicate to her that there is no longer any love between the two of us. Due to the fact that she is 6 years old, I am concerned that she may already be aware of what is actually taking place. However, in the end, we are not going to get a divorce because I don't want her to go through any emotional turmoil. At the very least, by the time she graduates from the university where she is currently enrolled in classes, I'm going to keep going through the motions of our loveless marriage until the time comes for me to end it. Nevertheless, I am not alone in this regard. I know a few other men who are in the same situation as I am. I joined a men-only online support group a short while ago after hearing about it from a friend. Even though they are still married and live together, they have absolutely no feelings for one another at all. Because they want to raise their children together, they have decided to keep their marriage but treat it more like a business partnership. To tell you the truth, there are times when I seriously question whether or not I made the right decision when I married her. Nevertheless, I can only blame myself for selecting the wrong partner in this relationship. It is not fair that my daughter should have to go through what she has because of it. She should not have to. The loveless marriage that I was coerced into staying in is something that I will continue to put up with for the sake of my daughter. There are a wide variety of counterarguments to the idea of getting a divorce. To support us like this video, please subscribe, and make sure to send this video to the person who needs to hear it the most.